I was wrong. I was wrong, but at the same time, I still feel like I'm right about this Inter Milan team. But today, they proved me wrong. I'll eat some humble pie and I'll shut up. Inter Milan eliminate Barcelona, proving me wrong and shocking me by getting to the Champions League final. Inter Milan are making it to their second Champions League final in 3 seasons, which is an incredible achievement for Simeone Inzaghi with this team. He basically has single-handedly taken Inter Milan out of the dark ages. Inter Milan for 10, 11 years was in the dark ages. No one took them seriously. They were kind of going in the same direction as AC Milan. In the last 3 to 4 years, the club has turned themselves around and they have made two Champions League finals in 3 years. So congrats to Inter Milan. We're going to talk about the game with Barcelona. But if I'm a Barca fan, from the perspective of me rooting for Barcelona because of my love for Hansi Flick as a coach, I was devastated. I'm not a Barcelona fan. I was devastated with this loss today. We're going to get into all the thoughts, all the feelings, breakdown of the game here. It's your boy Hokage Puya, man. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. And you guys, like always, I'm not, like I always do, I'm not going to forget to share the scoreline and everything on the screen. Here it is. It's up there. Now let's talk. First of all, amazing game. This was, in recent memory, in terms of a back and forth game tie, this is the best semifinal I think we've seen since. When is the last time a semifinal was this heavily contested and this heavily exciting? Comebacks left and right, amazing goals, passion. I can't think of the last semifinal that was at this caliber. I couldn't. Excellent football from both teams. Excellent football. And again, last week's game was a 3-3. This week, 4-3 at home in the San Siro for Inter Milan. And they started off exactly like the last game. Last week on Wednesday, these guys went up 2-0. And this time in the San Siro, I thought, you guys, I went into halftime. I shut my computer off. I was at work. I'm like, yeah, this time it's not going to happen. Barcelona, it's the San Siro. I don't believe. As much as I'm a believer in Hansi Flick and this Barcelona team and how inevitable they are at getting goals, I thought this was too much. I flipped second half on, and I just put it in the background, not really expecting anything, just to see, how the half goes, Let's see how this game progresses. Will Barcelona get embarrassed? That's what I was kind of trying to watch. These guys come back for 2-2. And I'm now thinking, you think when Barcelona comes back from 2-2, from 2-0 down to 2-2 again, you have to think on the Inter side of things, neutral side of things, and Barca side of things. I was thinking at that time, and I think a lot of people were thinking at that time, this Barcelona team is unstoppable. They will not give up. And for sure, from 2-2, after being 2-0 down again, this Barcelona team would carry the game out. They would get the winner, and they'll be going to the final. I genuinely believe that. And we were this close to getting that. Rafinha in the 87th minute, getting that clutch goal. Clutch goal in the 87th minute, and you think for sure now, it's done. Yes, it's done. It's over. Relax. Barcelona in the final. Let's see if they play PSG and Arsenal. Whoop-de-doo. But no. Inter keep going for it. Inter keep fighting. In fact, they play harder after they go 3-2 down. They're even going for the goal more. And what happens? What happens, guys? Out of all guys, in the 93rd minute, Acerbi, and you guys, I'm going to be honest, I do not like Acerbi. He is a roadman. He's a bum. He's 37. He's having the best season of his career at 37 years old. I don't like the guy. The way he carries himself on the field, he's a prick. He's weird. Thomas Muller plays his last Champions League game ever in San Siro 3 weeks ago, and he's telling Muller to shut up. He's mocking him in his last ever Champions League game. He's a man with zero class. Acerbi, I don't care his story. I don't care his life story. He's a player with zero class. But this Italian scumbag gets the equalizer, takes his shirt off. I'm the man. I'm Acerbi. Blah, 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 blah. and you guys at 3-3, although I wanted Barcelona to win, although I was kind of supporting them in this match, I just got a feeling that that was too big of a blow for Barcelona to make the comeback again, to think you've won the game. It just felt like a little too much for me. From the outside perspective, I thought, how is this Barca team? We know they're resilient. We know they come back. They never give up. They score the goals. Still, how will they come back? And I felt it in extra time. In extra time, Barcelona was not exactly the same team they were in the first leg and in in the regulation time in this second leg in that first 90 minutes. They just were not the same team with the killer instinct. The level came down. The level came down for Barcelona extra time. And you saw Fratesi getting another big goal for Inter in their Champions League campaign, getting the winning goal at 4-3, catching the Barcelona defense sleeping, completely unmarked in the box, and having 3-4 seconds in the box, unchallenged, no pressure, to shift the ball to his left foot and rifle a ball into the bottom left-hand corner. And that's that. And that's that. Inter Milan 4-3 in the final, second Champions League final in 3 years. And yeah, from the Inter perspective, great. I'm going to be honest. I think PSG goes to that final. I'm still going to pick PSG against them because although I was wrong about Inter Milan, although they did beat Barcelona and they did get past Bayern, Inter Milan did not get past Bayern and Barcelona the way people thought. The people out there saying, let me just go to full screen right now. The people out there saying that, oh, Simone Inzaghi, who, you guys, trust me, I know Simone Inzaghi is world-class. He is probably, in my opinion, second, third best manager in the world. But people are out there saying and pushing this narrative that, oh, Barcelona fell into the trap of Simone Inzaghi. Simone Inzaghi masterclass. This is what Simone Inzaghi planned all along. So you're telling me a manager who prides himself on defense, is proud of his team, is proud. Everything went to his master plan. Everything went to his master plan, but they conceded 6 goals to Barcelona. They conceded 3 goals to an injury-riddled Bayern. Is that really a master plan? So I'm not trying to take away from Inzaghi because Inzaghi set his team up to go out there and win. He coached this team to defend when they needed to and take their chances when they needed to and to transition from defense to attack beautifully. Beautifully. I'm giving Inzaghi credit there. But if there's something in this match, 100%, if there's something this match personified, it wasn't that Inter was the better team than Barcelona. It wasn't that Barcelona was the better team than Inter. Even in the Bayern tie, Inter wasn't necessarily the far greater team than Bayern. It was a 50-50 game over 2 legs, just like this game was 50-50 over 2 legs. But especially in this game, when chances are being created on both ends of the field, when it's such a high-stakes game, semi-final, this just shows you just need a little bit of luck to get over the line. You just need a little bit of fortune. You need 3 or 4 calls to go your way in a game. You need a little bit of that momentum, and the script completely flips. The script completely flips. So when I'm looking at this Inter team and this Barcelona team, yes, Inter, they got through, and a bunch of people who were picking Inter are proven right, and now a bunch of people are pushing this narrative that, oh, Simone Inzaghi masterclass. This is, why he's one of the best managers. Look at the defense, this and that. The defense that conceded 6 goals, the defense that conceded 15 plus big opportunities, I think, over 2 legs, and Jan Sommer had to keep Inter in this tie. So for me, this is where luck comes into it. Inter Milan played a great game, right? But this is what I was saying about the Inter team. When I watched my team, Bayern, go out there with the injuries we had, the injury struggles we were facing, and go out there and create the chances we did against Inter, I knew this Inter team, guys, is not this defensive monster team. They're not this impenetrable defense. They're not the Great Wall of China. You can create, if you have a fully functional attack and press these guys, you will create chances. You just have to take them. And although Barcelona scored 6 goals because of their risky game plan, the high line, they conceded 7. It's brutal for Barcelona, but that's the risk that's the risk they face with the football they play. You know, it's not a surprise Inter scored more against Barcelona than they did to Bayern. Barcelona's defense is much weaker than Bayern's defense. Barcelona's defense plays a much riskier game than Barcelona. Barcelona's defense plays a much more riskier game compared to Bayern's defense. But I did not expect Barcelona to be so wasteful with their chances. And so credit to Inter, but it really feels like Inter, this run, they have a little bit of that Real Madrid from the past couple of years where teams create the chances against them and they just aren't clinical enough. And Inter Milan, on the other hand, create the chances and are far more clinical. And that's not a knock on Inter. That is a credit to how clinical they are. That is a credit to how well the team plays together and is able to put chances away when it's given to them. You guys, I'm hoping my good microphone was not connected the whole time. So I'm not going to redo the video. So sorry about the horrible quality. Sorry about the whole horrible quality audio if it's really bad, but I just realized. So it's brutal for Barcelona, and Inter Milan proved me wrong. They're in the final. They eliminate Barcelona. If you're the Barcelona fan, you will be disappointed because the treble was there. The treble was there for Barcelona, but this is a very young team. At the end of the day, you still have to give Hansi Flick so much credit for taking where Barcelona were last year, the style of football they were playing under Xavi, taking this team with very little funding and trusting as many youth players as he did to get Barcelona playing to this level, to get him to this stage. Huge achievement of Hansi Flick. For me, he's still the GOAT manager. He doesn't need to win the treble to be the GOAT manager. The work he's done, amazing. And it's a young team. They will learn from this. Pedri, Yamal, Rafinha is just coming into his own. He's not young, right? But Rafinha will learn from this. Olmo will learn from this. Pau Kubarsi, and the guys on the bench are at home. Balde, who is injured, Koundé, who is injured. They will look at this game and remember it. And hopefully in the future for Barcelona, they build on this. And maybe, they put this kind of game away in the future. And for Inter Milan, yes, they're a strong team, but if you're clinical, a game against Inter Milan is a lot easier than other teams have been making it out to be. If Barcelona or Bayern were just 10% more clinical on the day, they would have gone through. But would have, should have, could have. They were not good enough on the day. They did not put their chances away. But who did? Inter Milan put their chances away. So yeah, great battle, amazing semifinal, very memorable. I mean, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, amazing semifinal clashes we've had in the last couple of years. Real Madrid and Manchester City, that was a semifinal, right when Rodrigo scored like 2 goals in extra time. I don't even remember if that was a semifinal or a final. I have no clue. It was a semifinal. It was Real Madrid versus Manchester City 3 years ago. But yeah, memorable, amazing. Congrats Inter Milan in the final. I think they'll play PSG. We'll see what happens in the PSG Arsenal tie. I think it's going to be PSG versus Inter Milan. So yeah, that should be another, if we're going to get a PSG Inter Milan, you're going to get another Bayern Inter kind of matchup. You're going to get another Barcelona versus Inter kind of matchup where Inter will be defending and trying to break on the counter. So we'll see if PSG gets to the final, if they could finally unlock and be clinical and put this Inter team away. But things just keep going their way, and Simone Inzaghi is putting his team and setting his team up out there to create their own luck. Remember, guys, luck doesn't just fall for you. You create your own luck, and that's kind of a skill in its own at the end of the day. That is in its own a little bit of a skill. So, exciting tie, 4-3. Barcelona will be back. Inter Milan, best of luck in the final. It's been your boy Hokage. I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, subscribe. Peace.